Now, the Prime Minister has vowed to clamp down on migrants claiming asylum in the UK who arrive on those small boats.
Yes, Rishi Sunak has made stopping small boats one of his 5 priorities for 2023, with reports suggesting new laws will soon be introduced to combat them.
Now, currently, asylum seekers have the right to remain in the country to have their case heard. But with these new laws, that would all change.
Well, joining us now is political commentator Lettice Bromovsky. Good morning to you,
Good morning.
Lettice. So, front page of the Mail, it's there, front page splash.
Yeah.
Rishi, I'll deport Channel migrants with new laws set to be introduced on Tuesday, we believe. Bring us up to speed. What do we know so far?
Yeah, exactly. So that's quite a harsh headline that the Mail have gone with. Realistically, this is just proposed legislation at the moment that will make asylum seekers or migrants who come across the Channel in these small boats inadmissible for asylum in the UK. And it'll give the government these greater powers to be able to deport people to places like Rwanda or other safe third world countries. This is clearly Rishi's, drive forward. He sees the general election coming up soon. He's looking to win support with the voters, and we know that this is a popular and contentious topic with a lot of these voters. The immigration levels that we've seen coming across the Channel, 45,000 last year, is phenomenally high at the moment. And people are really looking for how he's going to tackle this, how he's going to go about changing this.
It's interesting, though. He's saying, he wants to bring in a law. Well, that's fine. He can get it through, with a bit of luck, he can get it through the processes that he can do. Doesn't mean it's going to get through the courts, because this is going to be challenged, isn't it?
100%. There is no doubt that there is going to be some strong opposition from this. We've already seen when we had the Rwanda plan last time, the huge amount of opposition they came up with, to the extent that that plane never even took off in the end, and that can essentially be classed as a failure at this point. So I imagine he is lawyered himself up, and this will be watertight legally, but these human rights organisations, like you say, the Human Rights Act, will be seeing if this breaches that in any way.
And I mean, the context of all of this is, 45,000 people crossed legally last year, as you say. It's a dangerous journey, isn't it? It's about tackling the human trafficking gangs as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's about tackling and stopping people taking this dangerous journey. It was just over a year ago, in 2021, that we had that terrible accident where 31 migrants drowned in the Channel as they crossed over. And that's what we really want to stop here. This isn't an anti-immigration measure. This isn't anti-asylum. Our immigration levels have actually gone up since 2016 when we left the EU. This is about stopping these boats coming across and stopping it with the gangs who are exploiting these people and taking their money.
But one of the things which commentators have been... certainly over the last week, I've heard a number saying Rishi Sunak does not look like a man who wants to necessarily pull us out of the European Court on Human Rights, the European Commission on Human Rights. For this to get through, we would have to be out of that, wouldn't we?
Well, I don't know the legal ins and outs of it with the European Court of Human Rights, but I think Rishi's very technocratic approach to things like this, like what we've seen with the Northern Ireland Protocol at the moment, he's very good at bringing all these sides together and really seeing the way through in a way that Boris was very bolsterous and just went headfirst, hurtling into things. Rishi seems to be doing this more with his head down and getting things through the line. So I imagine they'll have found somewhere around that, some way to appease all the sides.
Should we touch on something else now in the Privileges Committee, interim report into Boris Johnson and whether he misled Parliament?
Yes.
How serious does this look for Boris Johnson now?
It's looking significantly more serious, I think we can say, because he is currently in a position where he may lose his seat in Uxbridge if they find him to be guilty of misleading Parliament. And he gets a suspension. It's looking at currently he'll have a suspension of a month. If it is over 10 days, which a month would be, and the Commons agrees, then he could be forced to have a by-election. So he is looking like he might lose his seat. One thing that I think might be a blessing in disguise is I imagine there are some within the Conservative Party who may see Boris finally stepping back from public life as a positive thing. There is no doubt that he's a thorn in Rishi Sunak's side, perhaps, as things go on, even just recently with the Northern Ireland Protocol and him putting his 2 cents in and saying, he's going to oppose it and he wouldn't stand for Rishi's bill. It's not helpful. And if they ever want any hope, really, of becoming a united front for the general election, this might be a blessing in disguise for them.
OK. Lettice, thank you very much indeed.